As smart contracts begin to creep up on us, Cardano breaks out, hitting a key target that we've been tracking on this channel, a very key target. Let's break it down. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit the subscribe and like on the way in. Let's jump into the Cardano video. Can you tell that intro was pretty lame? I didn't put any time into that. I just got up. I'm just doing this video because I see the breakout and we have to cover this right now. There's a lot to cover actually on these charts. So let's break it down. And I want to start here actually. And it doesn't even have anything to do with charts. A reminder. This was 4 days ago already. Remember this? IOHK Alonzo update. We're delighted to announce that we've now successfully spun up Alonzo Purple and have today begun the new user onboarding process. Everybody, it is. I think it was last week Charles mentioning exchange partners coming on board. It's happening. I know it's like weeks away from smart contracts, weeks away from the completion of the Goguen era, but it's actually happening right now. I mean, they're setting it up right now behind the scenes. It's like the play is getting ready to start. That stage is set. Here's what the roadmap looks like for the Alonzo rollout plan. And we've come through it so quick this summer. I mean, can't believe we're almost going into fall here. But here we are, purple and the staging coming up, and then Alonzo mainnet. I just wanted to really start with that. But let's talk about the charts weekly. If you remember the other day, we were talking about just the momentum of Cardano. Let's continue keeping an eye on it. Mainly this upward momentum on the RSI in the middle of the screen. We have this area where me personally, I'm just waiting for Cardano to kind of break to see if we get this parabolic move into this overbought area. And this is a move on the weekly, not just Cardano, just in general, crypto. When this happens, we're getting those, what's up, Swag? I see you there. We're getting those just breakout moves for Cardano. So we're going to continue tracking that. As we do, there's something I want to talk about because this has been like all over the place on Twitter lately. And I don't know if Peter was the one that started it, that really has been talking about it and getting a lot of momentum, but it's the head and shoulders on Cardano. And I don't know, I don't think it caused too much FUD. We talked about it briefly, but he did an update on it today. New development in Cardano, the advance through the July 4th high goes a long way to negate the potential bearishness of the head and shoulders top in this crypto. In fact, this price action can be viewed as bullish as long as price remains above $1.25. What have I been saying, everybody, in terms of the head and shoulders? First of all, I think it's a far grab to be able to call that a head and shoulders on that chart. But what have we been tracking, namely on this 6-hour midterm chart? It is Peter's right shoulder right there, but it's that swing high to the swing low to this Fibonacci. We've been just tracking this Fibonacci right here, this resistance area for a while. And this is why, and it really does, whether you believe in that head and shoulders, whether you see it or not, doesn't really matter. And Peter's right in the sense of the move that's actually happened most recently, which is right here, the break above compared to this midterm swing high, is a really, really important move. But more so is this Fibonacci resistance break that we finally did get, and we tested it. We were tracking it. Doing these videos over and over and over again, talking about these resistance areas, it gets tough sometimes, everybody, because we're hitting 786. I'm doing a video, right? We're hitting the 786 resistance again. And then for like days, we're just at the 786 resistance. We've been at like $1.38, $1.39. And we just have to continue to maintain patience as Cardano pounds on that door of resistance, and then we get the breakouts. Now, what we've talked about is the overextension from that resistance, the 5 to 10% overextension from the 786. Check it out. Cardano, 13% to the targets. And that target, I mean, it was just last night, we were just talking about this. This was yesterday's video. Check this out. This ascending triangle with a breakout target, in the $1.60 range. So we're going to continue to watch that. We're going to continue to monitor that. It can take a little bit of time as we see breakouts out of these patterns. So this breakout August 6th, a few days ago, it takes time. It takes a break to the upside, retesting that trend line, which Cardano has done, and then just I wanted to play that clip because I want to re-echo what I said, which is it takes time. It really does. It takes time and patience. You know, Bitcoin did a similar thing. It broke out of a descending triangle, and it's taken, what was it? I mean, it's weeks and weeks and weeks before it hit its own target, $46,000. And here's Cardano on a pretty short-term chart, breaking out August 6th, 4 days ago, and it just takes a little bit of time. We hit the target now to $1.60 out of the ascending triangle, and it's a big deal for Cardano. Now, going back now to this daily chart, this is something else I wanted to talk about because I discussed this in yesterday's video, which is this move out of this Fibonacci. Now, this is a Fibonacci that I've been just talking about on this channel, comparative to one that we had in November, a move that we had in November on Cardano for crypto in terms of my charts. That's kind of what we call the bull market doors. It was crypto, Bitcoin, everything entering the bull market. But last night's video, we were talking about getting that explosive move through and away from the 786, very similar to what happened here. Now, if you go to the weekly chart, and let me go here and kind of zoom out, this is what the move looks like on the weekly. It is the breakaway from the 20-week moving average right here in mid-November. You see this back here. So we're trying to find a weekly candle like that for Cardano to really break through, for the Cardano bulls to really break away. And if we see what that looks like illustrated on the daily chart, this is what it looks like. The overextension from this Fibonacci to the upside. Now, that move is looking like it's beginning to occur. All the while, we're getting the 20-day moving average cross above the 50-day, which is an important move we've been tracking. We've just been watching the 20-day approach to 50. We got the break. Now, we're starting to get this overextension from the 786 line of that Fibonacci. So it's a big move. ADABTC, man, there's a lot to cover. Somebody actually just said it. Kevin Green says ADABTC looks like a big move up on the right side of a double bottom W pattern. So speaking of the ADABTC pair, I want to talk about it because this is what I've been tracking. I think some people have issues with my chart, and I really don't care. I chart the way I chart. I chart the way I see it. You can visualize these charts however you want to see it. Peter sees a very clear head and shoulders that he's been tracking, and that's cool. I respect it. You don't have to agree with it. ADABTC pair, this is what I see. This is the setup that I see. It's a story that's playing out on Cardano. And I like how it's playing out because there's a bit of a challenge for Cardano right now. And we see it all the time out of these patterns. It could have happened to the upside on any pair, a breakout, and then the pullback, the challenge for the bears, right? Breaking back below this upper trend line and coming back down. For Cardano, we have a break to the downside with a pullback to the lower trend line. Now it is a challenge for the bulls to break back in. And I like that challenge, especially with smart contracts coming, especially with just the way Cardano moves, the patience that it makes us have. We always see breakouts to the downside. We always see breakouts to the upside, but that doesn't necessarily mean the target to the downside going to be hit. We have to wait for the lower trend line test to occur. It is occurring. I think last time I covered this chart, we were talking about what it would take. We already had that move to the trend line. We had failure, not good. We don't want to see initial failure, but that doesn't mean we can't test it again. But what we were talking about was the swing low that Cardano had on the BTC pair to the swing high failure touch at that lower trend line. And we were talking about the Fibonacci because I think Cardano was just entering this Fibonacci support. And look what happened, everybody. 786 to the 618 Fibonacci. My daughter up there. To the Fibonacci support, breakouts to the upside off of that support. Now, we're completely not out of the woods on this BTC pair. We have to continue to track it. Listen, Cardano can keep going up in price. If Bitcoin sees even more gains in its own USD moves, this chart will continue down. Be prepared for that. But we're going to monitor this ADABTC chart. We're going to monitor this lower trend line and see if Cardano can break back into this triangle. Because I'm still waiting. I am still waiting for a touch to that upper trend line because we need it. We need it for structure on this ADABTC pair. What that looks like, a 25 8% move to the upside against the ADABTC pair. If we go and we look at the hourly, this was last night's video too. We were talking about the path for Cardano to finally make that break to the $1.60 target right here on the 6 hour. We were talking about the path for that to happen, what's going to happen. I think in the video last night, I don't have the clip up, but I think towards the end, I was like, am I going to wake up to a $1.51, $1.52? That would be a nice move. And it would start with this inverse head and shoulders. I was talking about this inverse head and shoulders last night for the break to the upside to reach the $1.60 target. I'm quite surprised how quick it played out, but it played out nonetheless. And I actually woke up to like a $1.58 Cardano, not a $1.52. So that's pretty epic. And this is what the move looks like. So still a bit of upside for this with a breakout target to the $1.64 area. We obviously have hit really the $1.60 area target that we had on the other pattern. That other pattern, once again, this, and I know it's actually kind of hard to see on this chart, but if I get rid of the Fibonacci, you can see this ascending triangle. So $1.60 target has been hit. I'm still waiting over here on the hourly chart for maybe a little bit higher of a move for Cardano. And in that atmosphere, right, as Cardano starts approaching that area, even here, be very, very aware that we can get a throwback, right? Especially now, a $1.50 area is a very interesting area of support for Cardano. So that neckline of this very short-term inverse head and shoulders, maybe getting a throwback to that area. Monitor support. But generally speaking, this is nice for Cardano. Notice how we had a very similar setup back here that I talked about in last night's video, the inverse head and shoulders on the short term back here. Hit the target to the upside. And look, Cardano struggled at a new trend line, a new inverse head and shoulders neckline, all the while getting those throwbacks to the previous neckline. So similar type of thing. We want to see continued uptrend for Cardano. At the very least, always go back to a daily, zoom out a little bit for the extreme volatility. This 50-day moving average all the way down here to $1.30. The 20-day moving average cross above it, right around $1.33 to $1.30. Always have those areas in mind. It's a very volatile move, but one that we see all the time in crypto, coming back to test this area, even in continued uptrend. So boom, and then just continuing up. So just to give you just a sense of mental preparedness, if we go and we get if I could find it, the price range, just throwing this out there, you want to be ready, everybody. 15% move to the downside, just be ready. But we still want to, I don't want to talk too bearish right now. It's just this is how I am. I want to be ready for these moves because we see them happen often. But on the short term, I'm tracking continued upside for Cardano. I want to see it break $1.60 on the hourly. It's nice. It's nice. We're getting a Cardano breakout. If you're bullish on that, hit that like button right now, everybody. I really appreciate you as we get these YouTube algorithms bullish on this YouTube channel. If you're not staking, everybody, stake with Crypto Capital Venture Stake Pool CCV3, our newest. We're having a nice epic 283, our anticipated rewards kind of on the screen with just nice luck, over 100% on every pool. So I appreciate your support as we grow those pools. The Cardano ecosystem is just ridiculous. It gets me so excited. And there's so much going on, isn't there? All these DeFi projects, all the NFT projects, everything happening. I mean, when we sit here, we talk about charts, and it's all good. It's all chill. It's fun. It's especially when we're seeing gains. But I'm telling you, the infrastructure that's coming together, the smart contracts coming is really exciting. We've been waiting so long, talking about it for so long on this YouTube channel. You and I just tracking this, right? Tracking this together for so long. And it's going to be really cool to see Plutus infrastructure being built right now, going to be launched as well. And let's just see what happens. Hard fork combinator date, official date, I think, didn't Charles say, correct me if I'm wrong, but should be this week, correct? An official date. So pretty ridiculous stuff, everybody. Enjoying it. I have such a busy day. Time for me to get to it. Let's track Cardano, see what it does. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. I appreciate all of you. Enjoy your day. Seriously, have an awesome, awesome day. God bless.